Welcome to Magical Moments with Artemis. You remember that song, The Gambler? About you gotta know when to hold 'em, when to fold 'em, when to walk away and when to run? So I'd like to ask the studio audience, at what point do you know when to walk away, and at what point are you okay with that? I'm feeling extremely conflicted because earlier this afternoon I ran into a hummingbird that was in distress. Possibly dying, I'm not sure. But the point is, I see this hummingbird that's in distress and I noticed it, so rather than continuing on my day, I turned around, I grabbed some envelopes and scooped it into the envelopes, and I started to leave it in a particular place, and it really didn't please me. And then some other persons got involved, and then I really was displeased. So I decided to leave it off in a remote patch of grass. The prevailing thought being, if it decides to transition, it can do so in a nice space, very little foot traffic, it can be at peace, and if that's the space that it decided to convalesce, great. Again, there's privacy, there's nature, there's shade. So now, in the hours that have gone by since then, I'm asking myself, could I have done more? I feel a little guilty. I feel guilty because I didn't touch the bird with my own hands. I was scared. It was scared. I didn't want to create more distress for it. But now I find myself in guilt, wondering, if I had touched it, maybe it would have offered it a little bit of comfort, a little bit of warmth. If it was in fact deciding to die, that it could have done so with a little more comfort. So I'm going to drop in and access my pattern of guilt and invite you all to do the same. Anytime that you felt guilty when you've been in that space of wondering, did I do enough? Did I do too much? Right now I'm asking myself, was I truly in compassion? Maybe the compassionate thing to have done would have been to have killed it. It would have put it out of its misery. So, accessing states of conflict and bringing comfort to conflict and bringing resolution to conflict and allowing yourself to be okay, allowing myself to be okay with whatever course of actions were chosen in a moment. And if you think this doesn't apply to you, what if you have a spouse or a child that's an alcoholic or an addict? And you've asked yourself, did I do enough? Did I do too much? Maybe I should have done tough love. Maybe I should have done blah, blah, blah. So I'm guessing and venturing that this is something that's more than just I can relate to, even though it came to me in a hummingbird, and maybe it's coming to you in another form. So, back to guilt. And what can shift to shift out of guilt? And what did you notice just moved? And accessing being at reconciliation. And even more than that, being at peace. Being at peace with whatever your chosen actions have been. And what is it like to truly know that you did enough? In any given space where you're questioning yourself, what is it like to know that you've done enough? Well, I've definitely done this to give me peace, but I hope that this has brought you peace as well. Thank you for watching.